Today is a good day. We're going to crack open 5 collector boosters, over $2,000 of the sweetest set of the year, Lorwyn Eclipsed. Alright, well let's get into these boxes, and I will warn you all right now. It is already risky to try to price things this early during pre-sales, but this time because of the short spoiler season, it is going to be very hard to price things correctly. So gonna do it like normal, which is for non-reprints, reprints just get full value. For non-reprints, new cards, it's gonna be pre-sale minus 50%. The one exception is gonna be if we hit like fractured foils or serialized cards, because those are always ridiculously expensive. So all this to say, I will do my best with pricing, but especially with this 1 week spoiler season right into pre-release the next week, I'm literally opening these boxes on the day that spoiler season ended. Like the full set went up a couple hours ago, like an hour ago, and now I'm cracking open collector booster boxes. So yes, all this to say, the pricing is not going to be super precise, but the good news is, out of all the sets in 2026, this is the one I am most hyped for, and it's not even close. Also, I love opening Shockland sets. Fetchland sets are the best sets, but Shockland sets are pretty close, because that's a bunch of like $15, $20 hits that you're going to get pretty consistently because they're in the rare slot. Also worth mentioning with this set, currently, nothing in the lower rarity slot's worth enough to mention, so we're just going to focus on the higher rarity stuff here. So let's see what we get. Pack number 1, Lorwyn Eclipsed. Oh, okay, look at... Oh, why are we opening? Is this? Oh, I know what we're getting in our rare slot. Apparently these, okay, they reverse them again. Interesting. Recent collector boosters have worked the other way, where you start with the rares. This one's backwards, so you actually have to go through the lower rarity stuff. Also, if you see the purple around my fingernails, I've been on this like trying to eat healthy New Year's resolution, which has meant eating a lot of blueberries. And it turns out blueberries, very hard to get the blue of the berries off of your fingernails. I tried, I promise. All right, let's see what we get. Full art land, sure. Whoa, overgrown tomb, foil. Okay, that is a good start. That is a very good start. Aberrant return, sure, commander card. Reese the Evermore, Mirror Mine Crown. This card's cool, but it's basically the Edge of Eternity's enchantment for more mana. And, double Overgrown Tomb in pack 1. I mean, that's the beauty of having Shocklands in this set. And this is, I believe, reversible. So we get, there's the Shadowmoor side. So the dark side is Shadowmoor, and then the bright side is Eventide Lorwyn. Wrong set in the block. Man, that actually looks very nice. Very nice. All right, well, I mean, I will take 2 Shocklands a pack, thank you. We can do that all day. The other thing that's sweet about these boxes, and I can't believe I'm saying this is sweet, but they're only, and I'm doing as much of finger quotes as I can do while holding cards, but they're only $420 at the moment, which is still way more than I want to be paying. It's still way more than MSRP, but compared to $800 collector booster boxes, kind of feels like a deal. Selfless safe, right? Pretty good for tribal decks, especially elves. Impulsivity, one of the commander cards. Card is pretty sweet, being able to cast things from people's graveyards, spells from people's graveyards. Kiro, attentive first year, kind of like a weird Panharmonicon creature. Sig, Wanderwine Wisdom. All right, this one, I don't want to spoil too much, flips into Sig, Wanderwine Shield. Wow, it's kind of a creepy merfolk. I mean, I actually read the story for this set, which I never do. But the whole story is like, oh, you're like kind of cool in the day and like chill. And then when Shadowmoor comes, you turn into this like evil kill everyone thing. Kind of like werewolves or something, I guess. I guess that's not actually really a hit. And then, foil extended Bray of Clan Stoutarm. I love all the references. Like, just the callback to Brian Stoutarm is sweet. And that's one of my favorite parts of this set. It's just like so nostalgic. There's so many callbacks. I feel like Wizards did this super right. The only thing that made me sad is I came away, wow, just look at this art. Look at the art. I don't even care about art cards, and it just looks so cool. One thing that Wizards, I think, really did right, Flame Braider reprint, Starbred Ante, Spell Snare, not worth anything at the moment, like $150 or something, but this is a big reprint for Standard. Stopping a Badger Mole Cub, turn 2, being on the draw is kind of huge. All right, Mountain and... Okay, Bloom Tender. One of the big reprints from this set. Also, I believe, one of the most expensive mythics in the set. I think it's number 2 most expensive. I'm curious to see if Bloom Tender, with its new Vivid mechanic, can do anything in Standard. It looks a little quaint compared to Badger Mole Cub, but, I mean, Commander All-Star, and there are some shenanigans with turning things colors, so I don't know if it taps for 5 mana. That is still a lot of mana. How about an Eventide Shadow? Oh, Steam Vents. Okay, shock number 3. Wait, is this another one? Oh my god, that's another... Wait, oh, I see. I see. So the Overgrown Tomb... The Overgrown Tomb is a foil reversible shock. Okay, so you can only get the foil reversible shocks in the last slot, but you can get the normal reversible shocks, non-foil, in the non-last slot. Ooh, and then Ashling Rekindled. Not quite as exciting as the new Commander Ashling, but still a pretty good Ashling. All right, and then Champion of the Weird. This card's so good. The thing about this card, it doesn't say it on the card, so you got to think about it a little bit. But this is essentially like a weird free sack outlet that also can wrath away your opponent's entire board, as odd as that sounds. And I think that's like kind of busted. The only problem is you got to have a goblin to be able to behold. But if you can behold a goblin, I think this card is actually kind of insane. And then, oh, the art card. All right. Well, I mean, up to 3 shock lands. So the biggest hits here, Fractured Foils. Those are the big hits. And then, of course, the Bitter Bloom Bear Serialized, which there's no way we're that lucky. Actually, I'm curious what people think of this card. Is Wild Unraveling good? So it's 2 mana, counter a spell, but as an additional cost, you have to either Blight 2, so put 2 -1/-1 counters on something, or pay 1. At first, I thought the card was going to be pretty bad, or like mid. Oh, look at the art. But then we saw more and more stuff that wants counters on it, because you can remove counters for value. And now I'm thinking the card might actually be good. Man, those basics look so... Look at that beautiful... I would play this. I'm a big Old Border believer, but that's just like such a clean-looking forest. Oh, it's such a nice-looking card. Wow, all right, Steam Vents. Shockland number 4. How about it? I haven't even seen this card. When it enters, you make some saplings, and then you get to double some counters on things. Oh, it's 7 mana, my god. All right, Commander card. Rhymefire Torque. High Perfect Morcant. I think this is actually one of the more expensive rares. I expect this to be a very popular Elf Commander. I don't really know if it makes it in Standard. We'll see. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so good news. Good news is, wait, that's not... Okay, this is the Japanese Showcase treatment. This isn't Fractured Foil. Normal foil, Japanese Showcase treatment. The bad news is it's Bloodline bidding, which I imagine is going to be one of the cheapest cards that you can get the Japanese Showcase style from. I don't even know what's going on. Is that a mouth? There's a mouth there. I don't even know what that is, honestly. What is this supposed to be? Okay, well, all right. First Japanese Showcase card. That's sweet. It would be nice if it was a more expensive one. Also nice if it was Fractured Foil. One of these openings, we're going to hit a serialized card. It's been since, what, Murders at Karlov Manor? It's been like 2 years since we've hit a serialized card. It's been a minute. All right, another forest. I actually like the Lorwyn forest better, I think. Although it is cool that you get to see like the same scene in dark and light. Ooh, Figure of Fable. Speaking of nostalgic callbacks, Figure of Destiny, the 2026 edition. I hope Kithkin are good this time. Kithkin were good last time. Last time in Standard, Kithkin were like a legit deck. This was almost 20 years ago, but a little Blight Commander action. Ooh, Taster of Wares. Ooh, look at that treatment. It looks so good. I also think this card's kind of a bomb. Like, I think this is playable back to modern goblins. Slumbering Walker. I think this card is bad, although the treatment looks so nice. It looks so good. Slumbering Walker and Tristan Callous Cultivator in foil, flipping around into Tristan Pentant Color. This card cracks me up. It literally has a book of text. Whenever this creature enters or transforms into Tristan, mill 3 cards. Then if there's an elf in your graveyard, you gain 2 life. If it's in your print combat main phase, you can pay a black and flip it into Tristan. Death Touch. When this creature transforms into Tristan Pentant Color, mill 3 cards. Then you can exile an elf card from your graveyard. If you do, each opponent loses 2 life. In your first main phase, you can pay a green. If you do, transform Tristan. all that, and it's basically a 3-mana 3/4 Death Toucher. You gotta read a book, and you end up with a Death Touching Rocks Warmonk. Not even any life gain. I don't know what elves are trying to do in this set. I really don't understand the elf theme in this set. It's like all graveyardy, which is neat because it's different, but another sweet looking basic. Morning Tide's Light. This was one of the early spoilers, and I think people forgot about this card. But this card's super unique, and it's actually kind of expensive, so value hit too. Subterfuge, one of the commander elementals. Dawnhand Dissident, a little blading elf. Lockmare. Man, this card was so close to being cool. I feel like this is the kind of card that just doesn't work in 2026, though. Like, you play it, it starts as a 1/2, someone firebending lessons it, and then you cry. And then Shadow Orange it. This card I think is kind of wild. Whenever a creature you control with the counters on it die, you impulse draw equal to the counters. You impulse draw equal to the counters. So many, it works with earthbending lands. It works with Blight. It works with +1/+1 counters like Innkeeper's Talent. There are a lot of synergies for that card. I think that card might actually be really good. And it's a 3/4 for 3, which is fine stats. What do we get? Schwamp. Disruptor of Currents, little merfolk action. Mass of Mysteries. This isn't foil, right? Yeah, all right. This is the backup commander. I don't think it's really worth much. The face commander is getting all the hype from the elemental deck. Sapling Nursery. Just look how precious. Lorwyn's such a cool man. I wish we just do this like every set. Mornsong Aria. Call back to you, Marlin of the Mornsong. If you want your opponents to never draw again and you get to tutor from their deck every turn, play this. Ooh, an opposition agent. Ooh, Idyllic Tutor. Is that foil? It is foil. Okay. The special guests in this set are all super expensive in foil. This is, oh, look how nice that looks. Wow. I think it's like $50, something like that currently. Well, that is a hit, man. It's so much easier to get close to getting your value back when boxes are like, not $800. Turns out paying $800 for a collector booster box is a little bit rough. All right, what do we get here? A Plains, Brigid, Kithkin. Good if Kithkin are good. Jubilation, man, we're getting all these commander elementals. Kinsbinding, a little bit expensive, but like a less obnoxious but less powerful Cathar's Crusade for your commander decks. Ooh, Wistfulness. Wistfulness is so good. Oh, this elemental cycle is so good. Exile an enchantment or draw some cards. Do them both for 5 mana, and it's a 6/5. And then Collective Inferno. All right, and that's it. All right, Collective Inferno, sure. I mean, it's got Convoke. That's something. So I'm curious. I'm super hyped for Lorwyn Eclipse. Now that we've seen the set, what's your all hype level on this set? Are you going to what are you building? Are you going to your pre-release? For me, this is like exactly what I was hoping for. If anything, it exceeded what I was hoping for. Hexing Squelcher. All right, this is the biggest rare from this is the one that the CDH players are like, oh my god, this is a mistake. It is a mistake. I'm gonna have to play removal in my deck now. However, will CDH survive? And I'm just teasing. Like, I don't play enough CDH, so it probably is busted in CDH. To me, it looks like a Voice of Victory. Like, it is a card if you want to combo, you drop it, and then immediately combo off, and your opponent can't stop you. So I think the card's very good. I don't know about, like, broken, or you shouldn't have printed it good, but we'll see. That it is a spoiler season tradition for there to be some cards that people think should not have been printed. Lava Leaper, my god. Coolest art on the worst card. Giving everything, including your opponent's stuff face, and doubling everyone's basic land mana is just so risky. And then Curious Colossus. If you really want to make one player in your commander game super mad, colossally mad even, you play this and target them and turn all their stuff into 1/1s. All right, so no super high-end hits, but we got a special guest. We got a Japanese showcase treatment. We got some shocks. We haven't got a shock in a minute. We need some more shocks. I need some more shocks. All right, another Bree. Wickersmith Tools. Champion of the Weird again. Ashling's Command. I will say, as much as I love this set, Adept Water Shaper. Card seems pretty good in Merfolk. Or just like white aggro, making your tap stuff indestructible. I will say the commands, I think, might be my most disappointing part in the set. Being a worst command to give that as an example of, because this is the one that is actually an instant speed command, but they're almost all sorcery speed. And I feel like more of them should have been instants. As sorceries, I'm just not super hyped for most of them. Well, what are we? Ooh, Glenelender Guardian. Call back to Glenelender Archmage, and I think for standard purposes, this card is probably better. I think there's more synergies and better stats on this card. So if I had to choose which one would be in standard right now, I think Guardian is actually more powerful. Untapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. All right, more finishing of bad land cycles. Bristlebane Battler. The angriest little Kithkin there. This card seems good. The ward on it is kind of huge. And oh my god. Mirror Form. I actually like the main set art better than the showcase art, but Mirror Form is my literal favorite card in the set. Turn each non-land permanent you control into a copy of any non-aura permanent. There's so many shenanigans. We will be seeing many decks with this one, I am sure. And then foil showcase Disruptor of Currents. I mean, it does look nice in foil. Disruptor of Currents, it synergizes well with what Merfolk are trying to do. Convoke works really well with Merfolk, so I think there's a chance that maybe it's good enough. We'll see. All right, last pack of box 1. Can we get a big hit on the way out the door? Ugh, Lorwyn. All right, Elves, sure, whatever. Not hyped. Grave Venerations. Bray, lots of Brays this box. Ugh, Tristan, lots of Tristans this box. And Champion of the Perfect. All right, this elf is actually kind of legit. 4 mana 6/6, you got a Blight, or not Blight, you got a Behold in Exile an Elf. And then you get a Beast Whisper, draw a card when you recurse a Treasure spell. I think that card really good in any elf deck. All right, so there's box 1. I will say box 1. I think we did okay. I don't think we did, like, insanely well. We didn't any super high-end stuff. We got, what, four shocks all in our early packs, and then we just stopped opening shocks. I will say I don't think we came out ahead on that one. I don't think it was horrible, but I also don't think we came out ahead. All right. Box number 2, a Lorwyn Eclipse. Can we do... Look at that. Right out of the box. Okay. Well, let's see how beat up these cards are. Let's see how beat up they might be. Are the cards damaged? They look fine. All right. Just a pack. Changeling's so cool. They're just so cool and goofy looking. All right, let's get to the goodies. Figure of Fable. Okay, another figure. Sure. Eventide Shadow. Dawnheart Dissident. Wistfulness. Okay. I mean, we will take all the Evoke Elementals again and again and again. I feel like this card can see play back to Modern potentially. And a High Perfect Moricant. Is this the best version? Is there no showcase of this? If this is the best version, it might actually have some value because I think this will be one of the most hyped commanders from the set. I can't remember if there's a showcase that I'm not thinking of. If there's a showcase I'm not thinking of, then that one, I mean, extended foil, not the most exciting. But if that is the best version, perhaps, Bark of Doran. Nice little windmilly planes. What is that called? All right, we'll get to it. Disruptor of Currents. Puka's Covenant. Sapling Nursery. I actually think this card's pretty good. You got to be like mono green or close to it, but making a 3/4 with landfall and the affinity for forest to get it down is kind of nice. Curious Colossus. To ruin someone's day in command. Ooh, wow, is that foil? Oh my god, that's foil. Wow, look at how those hands pop. The hands almost look 3D, like they're coming off the card. Well, 1,000 Years Elixir foil special guest. I think that's another like $40 or something. The special guests are also good. They did a great job with the special guests. They look amazing. Like, they look so good. And they also reprinted like pretty much all the most expensive cards from Lorwyn Eclipsed. Or not Lorwyn Eclipsed, from original Lorwyn block in Lorwyn Eclipsed. Cannot ask for much more. Oh boy, okay, another Hexing Squelcher. Sure, stack them up. All right, Rain Slicked Corpse. Copsy. What's a copse? I don't know what a copse. Okay, we'll stick with corpse. Bad Commander Land. Let's go with that. Mario's Orange Kin's Binding, and Endblaze Epiphany. These cards, I gotta say, Endblaze Epiphany is the exact kind of card that used to be like kind of good, like 15 years ago. It just can't keep up with creature power creep. Like the X scaling removal spells, now that it used to be that 1 drops were 1/1s, 2 drops were 2/2s, 3 drops were 3/3s in general, right? now I think the baseline is like 1 mana 1 2, 2 mana 2 3, 3 mana 3 4. Like the baseline is increased, which just means that the removal doesn't scale with the creatures anymore. So I don't think you can play cards like Endblaze Epiphany. Bray, so many Brays. My god, Bray. Ooh, Reaper King no more. I do love Reaper King. More Scarecrows. I will not complain about getting more good Scarecrows. Plus, being able to steal your opponent's creatures when they die with counters on them, actually kind of cool. It's a fun card. Figure of Fable. Oh, please no more Tristans. I kind of hate this card. Sig's Command. Oh, look at that foiling. They made a very pretty set. I will say they did such a good job bringing back like old Magic artists. The flavor is just so off the charts. Wizards, I think, has actually cracked doing return of sets because we had some bad ones. I remember like Battle for Zendikar. So I think they've cracked it, and that kind of makes me sad that we don't get them more often. This card, not worth much, I don't think, or not worth enough that we care about, but probably important for standard. Forest, Glenelender Guardian, sure, oft nabbed goats. You gotta get a little goat meme in there. Lava Leaper, again. How about a Tam, Mindful First Year, and Winnowing. I think Winnowing is actually kind of an absurd card in tribal decks and Commander. So you don't get to blow up every creature, but you should be able to blow up none of your creatures in a tribal deck in all but one of your opponent's creatures, of each opponent's creatures. Oh, look at the Winnowing. Are those clouds that are in the shape of people? The art is so good. It's so good. But I think if you're playing a deck with everything being the same creature type, I think that's actually in the conversation. And Convoke it makes it like potentially free depending on the deck, or close to free if you can tap a bunch of stuff. All right, what do we get here? Another Lewin. How about another Jubilation? How about a Champion of the Weird? Okay, good card. Ashling's Command, and oh, all right, it's the wrong one. I saw 2 mana red card. I was like, oh god, it's the expensive one, but no, it's Cuzbeck Scrounger, which I think is also a pretty good card. Blight 1 on your first main phase to make a treasure on a 2 mana 3/2. As long as you can keep the Blight going, like as long as you can keep it going for a while, I feel like if that's just make a treasure every turn, and doubly so if you have synergies where you want to be putting counters on your stuff, I think that card's actually very, very good. Maybe in standard, definitely in commander, but I think it has a shot. All right, what do we get out of this pack? Sunderflock. I actually think this card is way better than people think. Because there's just so many of those like Huskbuster Swarm or the Eddie Mort Crab style elementals that are high mana value, but he casts them for 1 or 2 mana. And then I imagine you play this for like 2 mana, bounce all your opponent's stuff, and just one shot. Abhorrent Return. Bristlebane Battler. I feel like this card's also going to be good in standard. Brigid. Ooh, Wistfulness. Okay, man, we've done a really good job of opening Wistfulness for all of our elementals. And this is, I believe, the best version of Wistfulness. We get the foil alt version. That's a hit. We have not gotten a shock this box, have we? I feel like we're running light on shocks. We started off running so hot with 2 shocks in our first overall pack, and now we have not hit a shock in forever. Have not hit a shock this box. Ooh, Bitterbloom Bear. Man, I wish that was a serialized one, but still. Bitter Blossom on a body with flash. Maybe we get the serialized one still. I swear every one of these commander packs, every other one is one of these elementals. Bray! Oh my god, that's like the 5th Bray. Please. Disruptor! Why do we keep opening the same cards? Soul Immolation. Soul Immolation, if you want another Chandra's Indignation, it gets the job done. Ooh, a Blight style. I feel like we're opening the same card. We've opened like 5 Brays, so many Tristans. How about a little variety collector booster boxes? Let's break it up. A bit. Brigid's Command. Okay, we haven't seen that yet. Little Kithkin Kindred Command. Another Farafor. Ooh, Mirror Form. I mean, I want to see. I hope you open the base version just because I want to show you the art, because the art's so good. Hey, there we go. There's a shock. The art is so good. Reversible Temple Garden. The dark side. Wow, that is. The dark side on Temple Garden is very dark. My goodness. And then the light side is pretty bright. Such a cool idea. The reversible shock idea is super sweet. And what's our last card? Oh my goodness, another one. Reversible foil Steam Vents. Okay. See, all we gotta do is complain about not opening enough shock lands, and the Magic Gods will smile upon their children and give them 2 Shocklands in 1 pack. Can we get 3 Shocklands in this pack, Magic Gods? I don't want to be greedy, but... Ooh, that's a Scarecrow token. We need more Scarecrow support. I want a Scarecrow Commander Precon. Get on that, Wadsy. Oh my god, another... Oh my god, we opened so many Tristans, and the card sucks. Elemental Spectacle, Bridget's Command, hey, Scuzzbag Scrounger, okay, some treasure action, and Sonar, Innovative First Year. This might be my pick 4 worst card from, worst rare from the set. It's close. It's on my short list of worst rares from the set. I do not think Sonar is good. I don't even think Sonar is going to Commander, really. You'd have to be a very specific deck for me to want Sonar. Maybe some sort of, like, multicolor Niv deck could do it, but in Standard, I mean, 4 mana 2/4 is just not going to get the job done. All right, what do we get? We got 2 more packs, including this one. Mirror Mindground in this box. Sinister Gnarlback. Deepway Navigator. Some Merfolk untapping. Adept Water Shaper. Hey, we're building a Merfolk deck this pack. And... Meek Attack. All right, Meek Attack is such a... This has to be one of my favorite designs from the set. I love this card so much. I wish it was the Fractured Foil, but it's a bad sneak attack, but it's a sneak attack that makes you think, because it only puts creatures with total power toughness 5 or less into play. With sneak attack, you always know what you want to do, right? It's always Emrakul or Grizzlebrand or Atraxa. There's like 5 creatures in Magic, and you're always going to want to put one of those into play if you can. With Meek Attack, you actually got to think, and I think it could still be good. Like, we have like 3-fold Thunderhawk in Standard you can put into play. You just gotta do some work. Also, this card's absurd. 1 mana, 1/1 Death Touch. Whenever another creature you control enters gain a life. It's a Soul Warden with Death Touch. Soul Wardens usually suck because you gain so much life, but this one actually can take down the biggest creature on the battlefield. Another Adept Water Shaper. Abundant Countryside. Not a bad land. Too bad it's only Commander. Marlin Fey Ascendant. This card's gonna be very popular in Commander. I think the combo of elves and fairies and stealing your opponent's stuff and casting it for free, it's like the perfect commander card. Moon Shadow. Oh, I think this card might be one of the best modern cards from the set. I actually think this is often better Death Shadow. Like, a lot of the times this is better Death Shadow. It's so easy to grow it, and we have Super Shredder coming. Super Shredder coming in the Teenage Mutant Ninja set. Not that we're going to talk about that. Well, that's box 2. Box 2, better or worse than box 1? I think it's about the same. I think they're roughly the same. We haven't had any like super high-end, like ridiculous cards, but we've hit in a lot of like solid good cards. And a million Brays and Tristans for some reason. Cannot get away from the Tristan and the Brays. All right, box 3. Maybe I think box 3 is a good box, right? Box 3 is the one with the serialized card. I heard a rumor that if you open 3 collector booster boxes, you're guaranteed to get a serialized card in box 3. Bridget's Command. Don't buy 3 collector booster boxes. I made that up. Taster Awares. Ooh, Grub. Oh, look at that. It's so like, it's like whimsical, but still magic-y and like Lorwyn-y. It's so good. And then the backside, what do we get on the back? Notorious Anti-Grub. Spilling some something there. And Shadow Urchin. I mean, Shadow Urchin's good. I like Shadow Urchin. I don't think it's not a high-end, like, super valuable card, but Impulse Draw when your stuff dies with counters seems fine. All right, pack number 2 of box 3. What do we find here? We got a lot of Adept Water Shaper, too. Springleaf Parade. I feel like this is actually one of the most expensive new cards in the Commander deck, and it kind of makes sense, right? Make X Shapeshifter tokens for double green and X, and then your creature tokens tap to make a mana of any color. You can play that in like any tribal deck, and it's fine. And it's like not that far off curve. Slumbering Walker, Bridget. Oh, wow. Okay. Another Moon Shadow, Japanese Showcase Moon Shadow. Man, if we could just hit a Fractured Foil, that's still like an insane card. It's not Fractured Foil, but look at that. What do you think of the Japanese Showcase treatment? That's become like a thing where it seems like all in-universe sets now, we get one of these Japanese Showcase treatments. They tend to be valuable, pretty popular. I'm curious, do you collect them? Like, do you seek them out to play with? Tam. Oh, there's the Ashling. This card is an insane commander. It's absurd. I think one of the game nights people, I think it was Jimmy, said that they thought it was one of the best pre-con commanders ever. And I'm not even sure that that's wrong. That might actually be true. Dawn Anticipated, Sapling Nursery, Collective Inferno. Well, I mean, still not horrible for tribal decks, right? Double your damage. You can convoke it into play. I could see playing it in like goblins, maybe. Goblins might be good. The convoke does really help. That's the biggest upside. All right, what do we get here? Reese the Evermore, belonging another one of the commander elementals. I can't even complain about opening this because just look at that art. I could hang that on my wall. Who did this? Scott Fisher, Scott M. Fisher. Well done, Scott M. Fisher. That is just beautiful Magic Fairy art. Mirror. We still haven't got the base version, but oh my god, we're getting to the point where I'm going to start tearing Tristan's up. My goodness, Magic gods. Seriously, that's like the 6th or 7th Tristan. I'm going to have to go back into a Tristan count because that card's so bad and we just keep opening it. We just can't get away from the Tristan. It does nothing except show up in our booster packs. Kroll! How about a Wickersmith Tools? Shadow Urchin again. Ashling Rekindled, main set Ashling. And Adept, so many of those too. Adept Water Shaper. Little water shaping. Scarecrow token. Are there like 15 rares in the set and we just get the same it feels like we're opening a like Aftermath or something. We just keep opening the same handful of cards. Sig Wanderine Wisdom. How about an Oft-Nabbed Goat? Kin Binding. Figure of Fable. Disruptor of Currents in foil again. I mean, it looks kind of cool. Once Mr. Nimbus comes around, look out. Merfolk gonna be popping in standard. The prof would be happy. Oh, all right, well, I don't know about the Mr. Nimbus part, but Bray, our buddy Bray again. Another one of these Commander lands. Endblaze Epiphany. Flitterwing Nuisance. I think this card's pretty good. 1 mana, 1/1 flyer. Well, sort of. 2/2 flyer, but starts with a -1/-1 counter. And you can remove the counter to do an Enduring Curiosity and draw whenever you deal combat damage for 1 turn. Seems like a good fairy card. And a Deep Way Navigator. Ooh. So far, I will say, box 3 feels like, I don't know, we got time. We still got a few packs left, but my box 3 theory might not be paying off because I feel like this has been our weakest box value-wise so far. What do we get here? Glenelender Guardian. I can't help but think this card's going to be good. Like, I would even consider this in just like standard Demir. Sinister Gnarlback. Gloom Ripper. 5 mana. Looks sweet, though. Clamping of the Collection. And, Glenelender Guardian. Foil Showcase. Well, now I hope this card's good, so this is worth something. I don't even really like... The cards just look so good. After opening hot dog cards... and city pigeons and bagels and schmears. It's just so nice, like, just looking. I can, even if the card sucks, even if it has no value, just looking at it, it just feels right. It just feels right. All right, what do we get? What do we get here? Lewin, our buddy Lewin again. Dreadtilla. Glenelender Guardian, keep stacking those up. We're going to have a whole playset here soon. Lockmare. Ooh, Door of Destinies. Foil. You know what I think's carrying us so far value-wise is hitting foil special guests. I think those have been our biggest hits so far. I don't know if Door of Destinies, it's been reprinted a few times. I'm not sure how expensive that one is. I think they're all like relatively expensive, but it might be on the lower end of the special guest spectrum. All right, next pack, we have what? This is 3-2-1 after this. Oh, Morningtide Light. All right, one of the better value mythics in the set. Abundant Courtry Side, Sig's Command. How about a Reese? And a Bray. More Brays. Bray might be beating Tristan. We're gonna have a freaking pile of Brays and a pile of Tristans. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with them because, I mean, Bray's not horrible as a commander. I think Bray's actually kind of a fun commander. Tristan, I really don't know what to do with that. All right, 2 packs left, including this one in the box. Raiding Schemes. Nice callback to Wart, the Raid Mother. A little Conspiring. Subterfuge. Kirol. Rhymefire Toric. And Champion of the Weird. All right, last pack of box 3. Well, if we're going to hit that serialized card in box 3, or that fractured foil in box 3, this would be a good time to do it. This would be a very good time to do it. This might be the ideal time. This card's kind of neat. The flashback of chew and behold 3 elementals to copy a creature for the turn is kind of cheap. All right, Swamp. Sunderflock for the elemental deck. Grave Venerations from Commander. High Perfect Morcant, the Hype Elf Noble. Ooh, wistful. We're so... Well, at least we're opening a lot of wistfulnesses. We were just getting wistfulness, and what is our... Is it serialized? Not serial. We've got a lot of Steam Vents, too. I think like 3 of our 6 shocks have been Steam Vents. It looks good, though. And it's the foil reversible version. Okay, that's box 3. We have 2 boxes to go. 2 more shots, 24 more packs. We got to at least get a fractured foil, right? We got at least... We've got a couple of the Japanese showcase cards, but we got to at least get a fractured foil. The math does not favor us getting a serialized card, but one of these times, like, sooner or later, if we open, it's like a slot machine. If you spin enough times, sooner or later, you might hit something good. You also might go broke in the meantime. That's what the odds actually favor, but if we do enough box openings, we will eventually just, like, get lucky and hit a serialized card. Seriously. Can you leave us alone? Come on, you pertinent elf. Oh, Tristan, Jubilation, Grub's Command. Little goblin command action, selfless save right, and okay, High Perfect. What's a interesting looking Merfolk token? The tokens, oh, that's a sweet looking shapeshifter. The tokens in the set actually look pretty nice. You know what I would settle if we do not get a serialized card or fractured foil? Magic Gods. How about no more Tristans? I will accept no more Tristans as a Hallowed Foul. Howled Foul? What? Hallowed Fountain. I don't even know what that word was. I made up a new one. Hallowed Fountain, not reversible, putting foil. Looking pretty good. I will not complain about opening any Shockland ever. Any Shockland is fine with me. Rating Schemes. Champion of the Perfect. Oh, so close. So close. Bitter Bloom Bear in the slot. The last slot is the one where we can hit the serialized card. Bitter Bloom Bear foil showcase. However, I don't see a number on there. I mean, that is still a super nice looking card. Super nice card. Also, I think relatively high value. It might be a little bit worse just because there is a serialized version. So that would be the best version, I think, if there wasn't a serialized version. But since serialized exists, it is not the best version of Bitter Bloom Bear. And Blaze Epiphany. Ashling the Limited List. All right, good commander. Lewin, not a good commander. Hey, Overgrown Tomb, reversible. Sweet. Not foil, though. Our foil slot goes to N Blaze. I will say I like the art on that card. That is a cool looking piece of art. The card, horrible. I don't even know if it's good in limited. I'm curious. Is this even a good limited card? I guess it's fine, but it doesn't seem like a bomb first pick rare. It seems like, if I'm in the colors and it comes around 5th, like, I'll snap it up. But I'm not sitting down to a draft thinking, I really hope I open Endblaze Epiphany. What is, let's see, Thirst for Identity. Pretty good. Draw 3, discard 2 unless you discard a creature. The next in our Thirst cycle, or Mega cycle, I don't even know what it is. Champion of the Collection, Ferrophore. Mutable Explorer. I think this card's sneakily one of the best cards in the set. 3 mana 1/1. When it enters, you make a Mutavault, so you ramp, and it's all creature type, so it works in every tribal deck. I think this card, I would play it in, I think it's standard playable, and I would play in a lot of commander decks too. Sonar, I would not play you in many decks. And, hey, Blood Crypt, that's a new one. Look at that hovel. Is that a hovel? I think that's a hovel. And then here we have the hovel on fire and tipping over a little bit. Man, Night did a number on that, didn't it? Hey, another reversible Shockland. I think the reversible shocks, are about 25. I think normal shocks are about 15. Reversibles, like 25. I don't know, maybe they're a little more expensive in foil, but somewhere in that range. Doran Besieged by Time. I was kind of hoping for a Doran reprint for standard, but the new Doran's actually pretty cool. Like, it's a very fun build around for commander. There we go. Hexing Squelcher, the most expensive rare from the set. Sorry, CDH players. Your format is bad. Hey, there's a Johnny. This card, I swear to God, if this was 2015, did I just lose some cards? If this was 2015 and they spoiled this card, this would be a very easy pick for best card in the set. Like, it does everything you want. In 2015, 3-mana Planeswalkers were like the thing. And whenever you saw 3-mana Planeswalker, you were like, oh, it's probably just good because it's 3-mana and it's a Planeswalker. In this one, pluses to make a token, something else associated with good Planeswalkers, and minuses for removal, which other good Planeswalkers do. It's ultimate wins you the game. I'm just not sure if a card like this is still good in 2026. Like, it would have been in 2015, 2016. Is it good in 2026? I guess we're going to find out. It does make a Kithkin token. Also, the chaperone name cracks me up because it makes it sound like he's keeping the kids in line at junior high prom. I need to pick these cards up. We had a small disaster, including our hexing Squelcher. It's back though. It's fine. All right. What do we get? What do we get in our next? But that was not a bad pack. Hexing Squelcher is a hit. All right, next pack. Let's see what we can find here. Flittering Nuisance, base foil, Great Venerations, the Spry and Mighty. I feel like this card is not actually very good. It is very precious though. The Tree Folk and Kithkin together at last. Goliath Daydreamer. Also really, this looks like Eldraine fairy tale art to me. I guess there is some similarities there. Winnowing. All right, Winnowing, extended foil. Good Wrath for those commander decks. Well, we're getting to the second half of our second to last box. We're running out of time if we're going to hit that fractured foil. Oh, I'm loving this set, though. It's so good. Sig's Command, Subterfuge, another Winnowing, Grub returns, and Scuzzbacks. We've gotten a lot of these Scuzzbacks. I feel like that's fine, though. Wow, look at that Kithkin token. The art in this set is so good. It's so good. It's so good. I keep saying that, but it really is. It really is. The only thing that makes me sad about this set is I just come away feeling like, why don't we just make sets like this every time? Why do we need the commercial breaks for the bagels and smears? Rhymefier to work. Impulsivity. Ooh, Twilight Divider. This card's so sweet. It's Panharmonicon for reanimation. Whenever you would reanimate something or a creature enters from your graveyard, you get to make a copy of it once each turn. I guess it's supposed to work with the elf graveyard theme. I just want to play it with generic graveyard stuff though. Ooh, Moonshadow. What is that? What are the legs? What is Moonshadow? Moonshadow got the body of like a woman and the legs of I don't even know, a very large frog. And okay. Most expensive mythic in the set is Urdu/Islu, and I believe that you cannot get a better version than this. Oh, that's got to be like $35-40. I mean, I guess before we knock down whatever for being pre-sales. I mean, these were kind of the whole story. I read the story of Lorwyn Eclipsed. The story is this. There's some Strixhaven College, and spoiler alert, but there's some Strixhaven College kids. They're wandering around for some reason. They fall through like a hole in the ground or something, like Alice in Wonderland. Next thing you know, they land on top of this thing, and they wake it up. But it wasn't supposed to wake up for 6 more months, and that turns things to night, and then everyone goes crazy, and they start killing each other. But then this thing wanders into this thing, and they realize they're actually friends, and then a Johnny shows up in chaperone mode to help the kids, like a junior high prom instructor, and then the story ends. That's basically it. That's what I remember of it, at least. Don't quote me on any of that, but it was something like that. Champion of the Path. I think this card's insane in elemental decks. It works so well with the Evoke Elementals, too. I think it was really good. Dreadtiller, Collective Inferno. Ooh, Deceit. We haven't seen Deceit yet. We always get the Simic Evoke Elemental. Deceit, the Dimir Evoke Elemental, also very good. Little bounce plus Thoughtseize action on a 6-mana 5/5 with Evoke. And Sonar. Our buddy, this is one of the kids that got lost, and then Johnny had to go rescue them. Oh, I guess it makes sense that his card sucks because also wasn't that good in the story, honestly. Look at that art. All right, what do we get in this pack? How about Bitterbloom? We've got a lot of Bitterbloom bears. That is good. Belonging, another one of the big evoke elementals. Dream. This card is so sweet in Commander. 7 mana, double Dimir hybrid. Each opponent exiles the top cards of their library until they exile a total mana value of 5 or greater. Until the end of turn, you may cast cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. It's like Dimir Tally, but it's even better. You don't get a body, but you get a better ability. Endblaze Epiphany and Spine Rock Tyrant. It's a pretty sweet looking dragon. I don't know if this card's good in Standard. I bet it's fun in Commander. I play this in any sort of like Zada deck or something, where you can cast a bunch of spells targeting your stuff, get more value out of it. All right, 2 more packs in box 4. Let's see how we do with this one. Goatnap returns. Plains. Oh, Mutable Explorer. Okay, nice. Land. Flittering Nuisance. Mirror Mind Crown. Ooh. Winnowing. Japanese Showcase. Not, man. Apparently it's hard to get the Fractured Foils. It is apparently hard to get the Fractured Foils. Speaking of Japanese Showcase, they opened an arcade near me recently, and I went to the arcade. And they had this Japanese game, and it was all in Japanese, so you couldn't actually read what it was saying, which made it tricky to play. But it was just called Flip the Table. And there was actually like a physical table on the arcade machine, and you had to flip it as hard as you can. And I would just try to scroll around and figure out, because I couldn't read what I was doing. But it was like, you're at a wedding, and you're like sitting at the wedding, and you've got to flip the table, and then the table flips, and you see all the people in the audience, their face like, oh, like the cake is falling on, oh. Or oh, you're at a baseball game, you're on home plate, and for some reason you're flipping a table, and it like hits the pitcher, like oh. It was I don't really understand Japanese culture, but it was interesting. Flip the table, look it up. It's a real thing, apparently. I learned it's a real. Hey, Wistfulness again, our buddy Wistfulness. That I'm not going to complain about. We can open all the Wistfulnesses. Lamentations, like a Bible verse. Hey, there is a. Oh wow, wow! 2 in a row. Temple Garden Hallowed Fountain, both reversible. I mean, that is a nice pack. And then our last card. Harmonic Crescendo, good for tribal decks and Commander. Is 6 mana. I think it's probably not going to make it in Standard, but we have one final box to go. What do we get from box number 5? I mean, this has to be the good one, right? This has to be the one. All right, box 5. Box 5, Fractured Foil Serialized card. Let's see if we can do it. I will say so far, I think we're probably running a little bit behind the price, but I think compared to any of the previous sets, we're going to be way closer. Doran, how about an Impulsivity? Adept Water Shaper, Curious Colossus again, and a Heat Shimmer. Okay. Another special guest. I mean, we have opened a lot of special guests. This is what, like our 5th special guest, and they've, I think, all been foil. So even just that's like, I don't know, probably like a couple $100 in value, I bet. The special guests are sweet. All right. Pack number 2 of box. Pretty cool art. Pack number 2 of box number 5. Flittering Nuisance. Sinister Gnarlback. Marlin. Ooh, Emptiness. Also looking super sweet. This was the first one they spoiled, and I think it's led to people not thinking about it as much. But 2 mana reanimate something mana value 3 or less. 2 mana 3 -1/-1 counters on something. Do both for 6. Card actually seems pretty legit to me. The whole cycle seems legit to me. Tristan's command. Oddly, I kind of like this more than any of the other sorcery speed commands. Just because I feel like untapping all your elves is actually it kind of makes the card free almost, right? Like, because elves are so good at making mana. If you play a bunch of elves that make mana and tap them all for mana and then use that to untap them and do something else, like copy elf or something, you actually end up with like a ritual almost, potentially. So I actually think even at 6 mana, that one could actually be good. Sig's Command, that one, not as excited for. Eventide Shadow. Bloodline Bidding. How about a, Kinseer Sentry. This card's so sweet. This mashes together Permanent Captain and Knight of Meadowgrain, which were both kind of iconic Kithkin from original Lorwyn. Knight of Meadowgrain, 2-mana 2/2, first strike lifelink, and then they added on the Permanent Captain, kind of like cheat stuff into play from your hand. I think this card could be good. Like, if this card, with those abilities and this amount of text is not good enough, what is Magic even what is Magic even about in 2026? Glenelenda Guardian, Japanese Showcase. Japanese fairies look a little different than our normal fairies, don't they? All right, I don't know. Wait, is that Arm? Is the Arm the Guardian? And that's what they're fighting? Oh, that's the Wing, I see. Huh. Interesting. Well, I mean, that's another Japanese Showcase card. So we've hit a lot of Japanese Showcase cards. Just none of them have been Fractured Foil. They've all been just normal foil, which is still fine. But the Fractured Foils, I mean, they are the rare ones. I'm glad they brought back Fractured Foils. Also, this card, pretty good constructed card. Fills a graveyard, hard to kill. Should be playable. Champion of the Path. Math Mysteries. So Formidable Speaker. The Jean-Emmanuel Depraz World Champion card, and a very good card. Like 3-mana discard a card creature tutor with ETB. That's pretty good. Meek Attack. Oh, like I just love this set. Look at them going to throw those stones at the giant's toe. You know the giant does not even feel it. There's no the giant could just pick up his foot and set it down, and it would be over. It would be over. Also, why 3 toes? I just realized, wait, is this AI art? Is this AI? Is this AI, Matt Rockefeller? That seems like something AI would do. Wrong number of toes on there. And it's not AI, but seriously, why are there 3 toes? Ooh, and a Twilight Diviner. Man, I'm just blown away at how good these cards look. Just like how good they look. It's just, they look so nice. And I know I've said that multiple times, but I keep like seeing the cards online through the pixels and, you know, doing spoiler videos. It's not the same as like seeing the foil pop in person, feeling it in your hand, seeing it in person. They just look so much better. Main set Ashling, Subterfuge, Champion of the Shoal, Merfolk Champion. Ooh, okay. Another Urdu, and wow, that is a pack. And wow. Okay. Best mythic in the set value-wise, followed by the best version of the best rare in the set value-wise. Urdu, Islu, Hexing Squelcher. That's a very good pack. That is maybe one of the best packs we've opened. Cool, which is good because we're getting low on packs here. I think we have this and then 6 more. All right, come on, Fractured Foil or Serialized card, Schwamp. Yeah, Mutable Explorer, I like Mutable Explorer. Village Pillagers, Tristan's Command, Tam, and a Lockmare. This card really needed to start as a 2/3. If it started as a 2/3, I think it would potentially be good. Starting as a 1/1, it dies to too much of the early game removal. I heard someone be like, oh, why don't you just wait till 4 and then you can play it and activate its ability. But then you ended up building a 4-mana 2/3 ETB draw card, which also does not feel like a constructed card to me. All right, what do we get in pack number 6? Slumbering Walker, or 7 maybe. Puka's Covenant, Lava Leaper. I don't know what this card exists for. It's goofy. This is like the goofy red card from the set. It's going to do funny things, but I think most of the time when you play this, you probably die. Like, I think that is what most often will happen. Champion of the Weird, and Devoted Druid Special Guest in foil. Not as good as Bloom Tender, but still, that is, I mean, that's another special guest. We will take special guests all the time, too. I don't know how much that one's worth. I'm curious, because Devoted Druid is just, like, common, and it's, you know, a good common. You see Modern play is a combo piece, but it's probably only a couple bucks. I wonder if the special guest is still valuable. Glister Baron, our little raccoon buddy. Our little raccoon oof. Glenelendra's Answers. I mean, 4 mana means this probably won't see that much play, but this kind of is the ultimate counter spell. This spell can't be countered. Counter all spells your opponents control, and all abilities your opponents control, and you even get to make some fairies for each thing that you counter this way. Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Ashling's Command, Bristlebane Battler, Champions of the Perfect, and that's a goblin? I don't know about that. Larry McDougal, what are we doing? Does that look like a goblin? That looks like a pig to me. Is that what goblins look like? I'm not even, wow, that tree folk looks sweet though. Jeff Lubberstein, you nailed it. Although, yeah, I guess that looks tree folky. That does not look like a goblin to me even a little. I'm curious, do you see goblin in there anywhere? I see like boar. I see some sort of boar. We have 4 packs left in our $2,000+ Lorwyn Eclipse opening. And if we're going to come out ahead, we're going to need to hit in these packs, I think. We're going to need to hit in these packs. All we need is a serialized card, and we're good. Or how about a Lava Leaper? How about a Rain Slick Corpse? How about there's Bray. At least, I will say, the Magic Gods have listened, and we haven't opened a Tristan in a while, which I will count that as a win. Disruptor of Currents. Ooh. Oh, well, I hope this is the best card in the set, because that is the foil extended a Johnny Outland Chaperone, coming to save all the first years. All right. I mean, I'm curious if that card's good. I hope it's good. If that Ajani's not good, it would just be an example of how much Magic has changed over the past decade. Well, what do we get here? Spell Snare. Okay. Hey, Hallowed Fountain. Okay, we'll take it. Another Shockland. Elemental Spectacle. I feel like most of these commander cards are from the Elemental deck compared to the Blight deck. Brigid's Command, Scuzzback Scrounger, and Dream Harvest. I feel like Phil's going to cast this a lot in Commander, and probably Crim. Both of them, probably. I feel like it's going to see a lot of Commander play. All right, 2 packs to go. All right, Serialized Bitterbloom Bear, Fractured Foil, Special Guest, something. Can we do it? Endblaze Epiphany, that's not doing it. Ferrophore. Hey, okay, Temple Garden. We will take a reversible shock. We almost made it. It had been like a box and a half since we hit a Tristan, but had to get one right at the end. And how about a Champion of the Klatchin? All right. It is time for some last pack magic, hopefully. The last pack of our $2,100 Lorwyn Eclipse opening. Hey, oh, wait. It's all turned around. That is a signed art card. We did it. All right, so we're going to do this in the traditional way. Hopefully it's not double-sided. Well, it is. All right, well, all right, I give up. We're just going to do it the normal way because of the double-sided cards. So these are the commons and uncommons. All right, the double-sided cards make it hard to do the face-down thing. Island, Champion of the Klatchin, Aberrant Return, Deep-Way Navigator, Steam Vents, and Blood Crypt. Well, we didn't hit the serialized card. We didn't hit a fractured foil, unfortunately. We did open a pile of Shocklands, which I like, including a bunch of foil extended Shocklands. We got some really sweet special guests. I don't know what to think of this one. Compared to, like, Final Fantasy or Spider-Man, the good news is we only started negative, like, 2,100 on this one. Without hitting a fractured foil or the super lucky serialized card, did we open enough to get our money back? I'm going to guess. So my guess is box 3 was maybe the weakest. And my guess is we're going to come out in the red, but not by a ton. I'm going to guess we get back like maybe 1,500 out of all the boxes, maybe 16, 17, like somewhere in that range. Like I think we're going to end up down like a bit. Maybe we lose like $100 a box on average or something like that. 150. That's my guess, is we come out a little bit in the red, which sounds kind of sad because you want to come out ahead. But compared to losing $400 a box with some of these last sets, I'm going to take it. But I don't know. I got to calculate it up. I will be right back. I got to add up our $2,100 Lorwyn Eclipse opening. All right, future Seth here. You can tell because Future Seth is a beanie kind of guy. To wrap up our $2,100 Lorwyn Eclipse collector booster box opening. And I gotta say that past Seth actually kind of nailed it with his prediction. So as we were wrapping up the openings, my thought was we probably came out slightly behind, maybe $100 to $150 per box, and that box 3 was the worst of our boxes, and that was pretty much dead on. Box 3 was the worst of our boxes. We lost $222. Our best box was actually box 4, where we only lost $97, so we didn't come out ahead on any of our boxes. And if you add everything up and average it out, across our 5 collector booster boxes, we lost an average of $142 per box. So essentially, spend $420, get back $280, and you might be thinking, oh, that doesn't feel very good. You're losing $140 per box. And in some sense, that is true. You don't really want to turn $420 into $280. You'd rather turn it into $500. But I actually came away from this feeling really, really good about these boxes for a couple of reasons. So one is losing $142 per box. If you actually do the percentages, we got back roughly 2/3 of the money that we put into these boxes. We got back 66% of the money that we spent on the boxes, which obviously isn't as good as coming out ahead, but compared to recent past sets like Final Fantasy and Avatar and Spider-Man, where the boxes were just ridiculously expensive, those sets, we were only getting back like 30, 35, 40% of what we put in. So we did significantly, meaningfully, way better than any set that we've opened in like almost a year now. So even though we didn't come out ahead and didn't get the super high-end, serialized card or whatever, it still felt pretty good. The other thing about this is I'm even less confident in the pricing than normal, just because this was such a weird quick spoiler season. Normally there's more time between when spoilers wrap up and when we get to open the boxes, and the pricing has been updated more and there's been more sales. In this case, the spoiler season was so compressed and so short, it just happened so fast that I'm really even less confident in these prices being right. So maybe some of the stuff ends up being more valuable than I priced it at, just because it's a very chaotic time pricing wise. So really, I came away from these boxes feeling good, and I gotta say, I love opening sets like this that have a good land cycle like Shocklands, because even if you don't get lucky, and you don't get the serialized card, or you don't get the fractured foil, and we didn't get a serialized card, or we didn't get a fractured foil, it doesn't feel that bad, because every few packs you're getting some, $20, $25 reversible Shockland, or foil reversible Shockland, and that really helped keep the value going, plus the special guests in the set, even though we kind of low rolled on that Devoted Druid, which was only like $2, but the special guests in this set were really good overall. The other thing that I've realized from a more meta perspective, as I've thought more about opening these boxes, is I don't think it's realistic to expect to consistently come out ahead opening collector booster boxes, because I really feel like in 2026, collector booster boxes are the slot machine of Magic, and the way that they work is everyone pays in hoping to hit the super high-end serialized card or the super high-end fractured foil. So everyone's paying in and losing a little bit of money because someone is going to get super lucky and they're going to hit the jackpot of that serialized Bitterbloom Bear or whatever that's worth thousands and thousands of dollars. So I think that the way that collector booster boxes work now is you have to expect that most boxes, a huge percentage of boxes, you are going to come out behind. Just like most spins of a slot machine wheel, you're going to lose money on it. But then you're also hoping that sooner or later, it'll be your lucky day, and you'll be the one that gets a serialized card that's worth 20 grand or whatever, and it'll make up for all of the losses in between. So essentially, you're just waiting to hit the jackpot. So I think that's how I'm going to conceptualize these boxes moving forward. So I'm not expecting that we're going to come out ahead consistently, but every time I'm going to be crossing my fingers and hoping that it's going to be our turn, that we're actually going to get that super high-end card and make all the losses worth it. So anyway, that is Lorwyn Eclipsed. I gotta say, I still think this set is a little bit overpriced. You gotta remember that in-universe sets are supposed to be cheaper than Universes Beyond sets, according to MSRP. And right now, Lorwyn Eclipsed collector boxes are actually selling for more than Spider-Man, they're selling for more than Avatar, and it shouldn't be that way. These boxes really should be closer to like $300, honestly. So I think these boxes, while not nearly as overpriced as a bunch of past sets, are still a little bit overpriced and hopefully will fall down towards $300. And these boxes at $300 would be really, really sweet to open. Would I open more for $420? I'm kind of on the fence. Like, I expect that if I open more boxes, it would basically go like this. Kind of the slow drain where you're not really losing a ton, but you're not really coming out ahead unless you get that super high-end open. But I'm hoping that the prices drop a little bit more. But I will also say, if you're hoping to open a collector booster box, 1,000,000 times over, I would recommend going for Lorwyn Eclipsed at $420 rather than going for Spider-Man or Avatar or Final Fantasy or any of those other sets that were just so ridiculously overpriced. Oh yeah, and if you need any of the cards we opened today, you can snag up from our sponsor Card Kingdom over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. And if you need to sell some cards, you can do it quick and easy over at cardconduit.com/mtggoldfish. Anyway, that's been our $2,100 Lorwyn Eclipsed opening. This set's awesome. It was so fun to open. The art's so good. I absolutely love it. But let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back in a month or so for some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle openings. Hopefully we do some collection buys and stuff in between. But for sure I'll be back for that. So until then, have an amazing day. And I will talk to you soon. Looking for even more magic? We can find our last collection buy video here. Or maybe check out our last collector box opening here.